He called himself the man who had everything, but he owned nothing that was real. And by the time anyone discovered the truth, dozens of lives had already been quietly destroyed. This is the story of the heart thief and the death doctor. Two men in two different worlds, both of them trusted, both of them admired, and both of them hiding something that would shock an entire country. The first man appeared in Los Angeles like a dream wrapped in designer suits. He introduced himself as Daniel Whitmore, a self-made billionaire in tech investments. He said he owned companies in Dubai, New York, and Singapore. He said he flew private jets and never checked prices. On dating apps, his profile looked unreal. Sharp jawline, luxury cars, photos on yachts under golden sunsets. Women believed they had matched with a once-in-a-lifetime man. He knew exactly what to say. He never rushed. He listened carefully. He remembered small details that made each woman feel special. One woman said he was the first man who made her feel truly seen. Another said she felt like she had finally met her soulmate. But Daniel Whitmore was not a billionaire. He was a fraud living in a rented apartment behind a closed auto shop. His real name was Daniel Mercer, and his bank account was almost always empty. But his lies were his real currency. At first, he asked for small things: a temporary loan for a business emergency, a frozen account that needed urgent help, a legal issue that would be solved in days. The women always helped him because they loved him or believed they did. The requests grew larger over time: $10,000, $50,000, then life savings. Some women sold cars, some took loans from banks, some borrowed from family without telling anyone the truth, and Daniel always promised the same thing: I'll pay you back double when the deal closes. But the deal never closed, and Daniel always disappeared just before questions got too loud. For years, no one connected the cases, because shame kept the victims silent. Until one woman refused to stay quiet, she created a group online, and slowly the pattern appeared. Same man, same story, same heartbreak. 27 women came forward. The total loss reached millions, and Daniel Mercer was finally exposed. When police arrested him, he didn't look like a billionaire anymore. He looked tired, ordinary, almost forgettable. But what shocked investigators most was not the money. It was the emotional damage left behind. Women described panic attacks, depression, and broken trust. Some said they could no longer date at all, because every kind word now felt like a trap. Daniel Mercer was charged with fraud across multiple states, but even as he was sentenced, he smiled slightly, not because he was proud, but because he still believed he had simply played the game better than others. That belief would haunt the courtroom and the victims forever. But the second story was even darker, and far harder to believe. It began in a hospital known for hope and new life. Dr. Edward Larkin was one of the most respected obstetricians in the country. He delivered thousands of babies. He was praised as gentle, brilliant, and deeply compassionate. Couples traveled from different cities just to be treated by him. He was trusted with the most intimate moment of their lives, the moment of birth. But inside that trust, something unthinkable was happening. For decades, patients came to him for fertility treatment. They believed they were receiving anonymous donor assistance. They believed strict ethical rules were being followed. They believed science was helping them become parents, but Dr. Larkin had been breaking that trust in silence. Unknown to anyone, he was using his own genetic material in treatments, over and over again, for years, then decades. No one suspected anything, because the children looked healthy, because pregnancies were successful, because families were grateful, and because Dr. Larkin controlled the records. He was careful, meticulous, almost invisible in his deception. Years passed. Children grew up. Some began to notice strange similarities, certain facial features, similar medical histories, shared genetic conditions. At first, it looked like coincidence, until one genealogy database changed everything. A young woman submitted her DNA for curiosity. What came back made no sense. She was genetically linked to dozens of strangers across the country, and the only common connection was one clinic, and one doctor. A private investigation began, then another, and another. The truth spread like fire. Dr. Larkin had fathered hundreds of children without consent, not through relationships, not through disclosure, but through manipulation of a system built on trust. The hospital was stunned. Former patients were devastated. Families questioned everything they believed about their children, and children questioned everything they believed about themselves. The courtroom was silent when he was finally arrested. Dr. Larkin did not deny what he had done. He only said he believed he was helping life continue. But the judge called it something else entirely: a violation of autonomy, a betrayal of medical ethics, and a lifetime of deception. Victims described identity crises. Some felt their entire existence had been stolen. Others struggled with the idea that their biological reality had been hidden. The hospital shut down parts of its fertility program, and laws across several states were rewritten, but the damage could not be undone. Two men, one who stole money by pretending to be love, one who stole identity by pretending to be science. Both were trusted. Both were admired. Both were monsters hidden in plain sight. And both stories leave the same haunting question: how many lies can a society accept before it stops seeing the truth at all?